Hello, hello, hi, gigpreneur. What is happening? What is going on? Welcome. Happy Sunday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. My name is Sean Zimi, and I help folks with a job to start a side gig online and use social media to grow it. If that is you, serious or curious, drop the word me in the comments and I got you. And man, it is late and I hate going on late. Glow, what are you doing up? What you doing up, little one? What's happening? So, hopefully, you guys had a good Sunday. Tomorrow, Memorial Day, so most are not working tomorrow, which is kind of cool, right? Very nice, and that is good stuff. So, let's get on with tonight. By the way, we are live on all channels: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and then later on X, Threads, and LinkedIn. What up? As you're joining me live, let me know where you're tuning in from and why is it still freaking cold here in Southern California? Man, what is up with that? I just stepped out for a second and came back. It's fucking freezing. It's not freezing, but it's like cold. It's chilly. And it's like end of May almost. What's up? So, all right, let's go on tonight. You're going to love this one tonight. You guys know, excuse me, excuse me. Well, if you don't know, now you know that I'm a big fan of stories and I love collecting stories and telling stories and sharing stories. It makes a lot more sense and makes it so much more special if it's a real true story. Love those. So, got a real true story for you tonight, and one is gonna just really kind of it's it's a cool story. So, a Russian chess champion, I think his name was Alkov. I want to say, I could be wrong, but a Russian chess champion of the world. Okay, he's traveling in Russia during very cold season of the winter. Now he's traveling by train, and luck has it, the train actually breaks down, and they have to take a little break in a special town, in like a small town, right? Not a special town, a small town. So he walks into a cafe and he's sitting down and finds an old man there and a chessboard, and they start playing chess. And the old man wins twice from the world champ. And the world champ, let's just say Alkov, Alkov, I think that's his name. He comes back and he says, "Hey, do you know who I am?" And the guy says, "I have no idea." And the guy says, "I'm the world champ. I'm the world chess champ." And the old man says, "You are?" And Alkov says, "Yeah, I am." And the old man says, "You know what? You're not that good. I mean, you lost to me, an old man, twice." He chuckles and he says, "Yeah, I know. And you didn't even use your horse." And the old man turns around and says, "Yeah, I don't move my horse because I'm not very good using my horse and I don't really know much about the horse." Now, you may be for a second there thinking to yourself, okay, what's the rest of the story? That is the story. The story is you don't have to know all the moves to win. You don't have to know every single piece and what they do and how they work and when they should move and where they should go and when they should not move and where they should not go and how they should attack. You don't have to know every single detail about every single thing to win. This is such a powerful story in a couple different ways. One is that it's best to focus on the things you do know. You do know you're good at. You know, there are more pieces to a chess set than just a horse or the two horses, right? That is life. Rancho Man. That is life, right? And it's such a powerful thing because we don't have to know all the moves. One. Two, stick to the things that you do know. Three, is that you may be facing the world champ and you may not even know it. You may be facing your greatest challenge and you may not know it. You may be in your absolute worst situation, darkest time, and light and brightness and abundance is right outside, and you may not even know it. And you may be focusing on the things that you don't know much about, you're not very good at. You may be facing your biggest challenge and you may not know it. And you may be telling yourself, you know what? I don't know all the moves. I don't know all the pieces. How am I going to do this? But by focusing on what you do know, by focusing on the moves that you have made in the past, and now you've upgraded them. Now you got more knowledge. Now you got more experience. So those moves may be, yes, one or two pieces forward or what have you, but it's not the same move anymore because you're not the same person anymore. You focus on the things you do know, you focus on the growth, and you have no problem facing your biggest challenge ever, even if you don't know it. This story deserves you taking a look back again and kind of have it kind of rotate in your head and have it marinate a little bit, maybe a lot. If an old man in a small town cafe can beat the world chess champ 2 out of 2, so can you. Plenty of problems we need to figure out. I don't know about that. Some of the problems we don't need to, you know. Some of the problems, maybe we're focusing on way too many problems, right? And if you didn't check out my, I think it was my live last night or the night before. I think it was last night. Um, and I talked about reflection and mirrors and all that. You know, before mirrors and pictures and social media and all that stuff, it was just the river and the waters, and that's how people saw themselves. They would look in the water, and that's how they would see themselves. So they couldn't really compare themselves to other people. They just compared other people to other people because that's what they saw. So we focus on too many problems that are not, we're not supposed to. It's let me catch some. My grandma always said, "It's not what happens to us, but how we handle it that counts." I love that. That's a wise grandma. Well, Chuck Rick did evaluate the tensions of perception in humanity. Chuck Rick. Did evaluate the tensions. Check back. Hmm. I'm really confused on that one. Sorry. Um, yeah, it's Jim Rohn. You used to say it's not the wind that blows. It's the sail that you set, right? So yeah, a lot of things will happen to us. I mean, you have things that have happened to you. You have things that are happening to you. I have things that have happened to me. I have things that are happening to me. And maybe if we both were put in the same, environment, two different jars, and were fed two same problems, I'm pretty sure we would deal with them differently. Just because we're different ourselves, right? So a lot of things are subjective. A lot of things are, well, okay, I get it. There's a lot of problems, but are they all my problems? On May 9th, my heart stopped. Paramedic shocked me to Canada. Rancho Man. What? I don't know if you believe in God, but God's got a bigger plan for you. I've talked about this before. There's only one appointment you cannot miss. You can't call in sick. You can't be late. You can't substitute. You can't postpone. There's only one appointment like that in our lifetime, and that is when it's time to go. No paramedics, no doctor, no surgeon, nobody. If it's time for you to go, can't do it. It can't bring you back. Oh God, a Chuck Beckwith. I didn't know that. Is a scientist who develops human anatomy. Develops human anatomy. Okay, I I think you may want to you are trying to tell me that this person creates a brand new human anatomy. Developing means like they take a seed and they grow the seed, right? So they are it's already there. Um, you know, if that's cool for you and you like that concept, then if it works for you, then go with that. I personally don't buy that concept. So there has to be life in order to form life, to create life. So, and that's just how I believe. Some people don't believe that. That's okay, but that's my belief. Now, I also just I don't know why this took this turn, but I've also we need to figure out more problems. We need to figure out. You know, Kelly, I gotta tell you, I'm not too focused on your problems or other people's problems. I'm not. I got my own problems. Once I have zero problems and everything is under control, maybe I'll go to somebody else. The problem is we overlook our own problems and point the finger at everybody else. That guy's got that problem. That guy's got that problem. She got that problem. That problem. That problem. That politician's got that problem. That cop has got that problem. That guy's got problem. Problem. It's hot. It's too problem. It's too cold. It's too problem. It's too short. Problem. It's too old. Problem. I don't know. I like to fix myself first, you know, and that's really the truth. In order to be successful, I've talked about this a couple times. In order to be successful in life, you got to retire your index finger. We are born. The first thing we're born with is like we stick out our index finger so that we start pointing our fingers at everything and everyone else. The water is too hot. Well, turn the darn thing the other way. No, it's too hot. The problem is it is too hot. You don't say, oh, I turned too much hot water on. I should balance it with the cold. No, it's too hot. Why? Because we're so used to pointing our index finger at everything. Everything. Everybody's got problems, but I don't have any problems. I'm just perfect. I just go around pointing other people's problems. That's a major problem. Retire that index finger. It does you no good. The only place your index finger does well is if it's pointing in the mirror. That's it. And up. That's it. A lot of times you can't even do stuff for yourself. It's the truth. A lot of times we can't even do stuff for ourselves, and we're like trying to do like solve like global warming, and then like we don't even turn on the fan in our own room. It's like what the? Or you don't recycle your own cans. It's like calm down. Just chill with the whole world thing for a second. Your world starts in your room, in your home, in your apartment, in you. That's where it starts. See, if everyone took that and ran with it, we actually would have a lot less problems. Because if you pull yourself out, okay, and you go on top and you try to look at everybody, you'll see that everybody's pointing like this. Nobody's doing this. Nobody's doing that. Everybody's like, we're so good at pointing everybody else's problems. But then we get offended when somebody says, you. Me? No. I'm perfect. I'm flawless. Right? So retire that index finger. You don't need to know all the moves. You don't need to know all the pieces. You don't have to, I did a live a couple nights ago on Rolls Royce story. And Royce, his motto was take something that's great and make it better. Strive for perfection. I beat this to death when I did this live. It says strive to perfection. It doesn't say wait until you're perfect. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. It says strive. What does that mean? Start imperfect. Start as a freaking mess. Start as a walking problem. But strive for perfection. What does that mean? That means you find the pieces that are wrong and you work on them. You're striving for perfection within you. That's a good point. If it's out of your control, let it be. The Stoics say, don't focus on the things that you don't have any control over. You can sit here and you say, you know what? I hate the fact that in the morning there's sunshine. Okay, well, great. You can, when you set up your own planet, you could change it around. You have no control over that. So why would you trip over that? Again, focus on the things you do have control over because they already need a lot of work. See, we tend to just push this aside. We're like, oh, you know what? I really want to fix this, but I have no control over it. Okay, well, like, what about this pile here that you do have control over? See, it's like we always want the things we complain about are the things we can change. We wouldn't complain about the things that we can't change. Every single thing that you complain about, you as in you, general, not picking on anybody, you, anything that you complain about, you can change. Subconsciously, you can change, you just don't want to. Simple. Put it to test. You don't have to run it by me. I've done it. Put it to test. And here's the thing, this pile, yeah, you have no control over it, but there's a whole other pile of undone laundry. These are done. These are folded. These are in the closet. What about these? These you have control over. You got to wash these things. Fold them, put them aside, right? Focus on the things you do have control over. Look, the story of the chess player tonight, he focused on the things he knew. It's exactly what we talked about tonight. He didn't move the horses at all, and yet he beat the world chess champ twice. He played 2 games. He won 2 games. And he didn't know how to use the horse, so he never moved 2 of them. He never even touched them. He focused on the other pieces that he knew. We keep arguing with ourselves. Yeah, but you know what? I can't change this. Right. You have no control over this pile right here. You do have control over. But I really want, no. The same way you retire the index finger, the same way you take control of the things you do have control over. It's just that simple. You can sit there and I can sit there and cry about, oh, God, I can't believe that in the morning there's sunshine. So why do we even have sun? Like I can sit there and complain until I'm purple. Okay. And I can say that's a problem. Okay. For centuries, you can say that, but nothing's going to change. But there are things that you can do then that will make a big impact. Right? So focus on the things you can control. Focus on the things that you know, you're aware. Now, I personally say the things you don't know, it could be 1 or 2 things. One is that you have no interest. Cool. But if you do have some kind of a little piece of interest, then I would tap into it. Learn a couple things, just learn, expand, right? But make sure that you focus, your focus is on the things that you have control and you know about. On you. I didn't say you should focus on the things that your across the street neighbor. I never said that. It's all about us. Jim Rohn, you used to say, I can't change anybody. I don't have time to change anybody. It's a full-time job changing myself. It's like, I don't have time to change anybody else. I'm busy changing myself. I'm working on me. I don't have time to work on you. Right? So I want you to really, really hone in on that, because it's a very powerful point. So with that, I did not think I was going to talk this long tonight. I thought it was going to be a 3-minute conversation. I'm glad you guys stuck around. So with that, hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value. I appreciate you. Drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. If you are not following me, you can follow me on all my channels: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, LinkedIn, Threads. I do not have Lemonade. Stop it already. And I go with Side Gig Sean. You can find me anywhere. And if you feel like this is worthy of sharing, do what you gotta do. Spread the love. Tag a couple people. Let's go. I know you know somebody who's got to hear this. So don't be shy. Don't be stingy with my lives. It's my lives. Share it. And if it's your first time, hopefully it won't be your last time, since I may be a little rough on you tonight. But you'll get to know me. I'm very direct and straightforward. I'm just I don't sugarcoat much. I just kind of say it. Either I say it or I don't. That's just kind of. But that doesn't mean I come in and just But I understand I'm direct. You know. But hopefully it won't be your last time. And if you're following me new, I'll follow back for sure. With that, I am Sean Azimi, and I help folks who have a job and like to start an online side gig. I help you with that, and I help you use social media to grow it. If that is you, if you're serious or curious, drop the word me in the comments. I'll get back with you after this live. And I will get back with it's you know what? I'm gonna vent out here because if somebody will drop a me in the comments, right? Um, I get a me and I respond back within like 5 minutes. After I load everything up and I put it up on all channels. I go back, read all the comments, I respond, follow back anybody, all that stuff. If anybody said me, I message them directly. I send them one message. If they respond, I send them my cell phone number. I do. That's just how I roll. And then 9 out of 10 times when they have that me, they're gone. Like they're in the air. Like they don't even read any of the messages. It's like, okay, don't be like that. DBTG, don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. DBTG, don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. Don't be like that. Don't be that kind of person. Not just with me, just in life. Just don't be that kind of person. It's not pleasant to work with. It's not pleasant to. It's not a pleasant thing. You wouldn't teach that. Nobody would call you and say, you know what, I really want you to come in and teach this course on saying me and then disappearing. Nobody's going to ask you to teach that. Nobody's going to pay you for that. So don't be like that. So, because I take my side pretty seriously, I would say you should take your side pretty seriously. So with that, I am Sean Azimi, and I am signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.